Hey everybody, this is sorry. Hey everybody, this is Azrael Sword, and I'm going to be reviewing Death Note. Death Note, yay! Okay, finally got down to Death Note. I know everybody was probably waiting for me to say something about Death Note. It is one of my favorite short animes of all time. I give it a solid 9 out of 10. The only thing I didn't like about the series is for a person with limited intelligence, it's a little hard to follow because these people like geniuses. I followed it pretty well, but there were just some times when I was just like, what? How did you come to this conclusion? And I had to like rewind the thing to get to grasp it. Like it was just like what? For the most part, I got it. I mean, it's not that hard to understand, but there were just some parts that were just like, what? Okay, plot of the series, really quick. Light Yagami, my favorite anti-hero. No, he is not a villain. I had an argument with a girl from school who watched the series and said Light is the main villain. He's not the main villain, he's the main anti-hero. Okay, there's a difference. Villain, pure evil, only wants to harm. Anti-hero, good character with good motives, goes off the rails, doing what's wrong for what he sees is a good reason. That's the difference. Light wanted to purify. Okay, he wanted to purify the world. Finish that sentence. I'm trying. I try not to give too many spoilers in my reviews. I'm probably not doing a very good job overall. But okay, Light picks up a death note, a notebook left by a Shinigami named Ryuk. Shinigami, Japanese word, means death god. Ryuk is bored, dropped the death note to see what happens when a human picks it up. Light reads the instructions. Simple enough, any idiot could do it. Write a person's name in the notebook. They'll die within 40 seconds of a heart attack. Simple enough. Light thinks it's a joke, so he writes a name just to test it out. A criminal who was taking a bunch of people hostage. He dies. So now Light is confronted with the fact that, holy crap, I can kill people and there's no scientific way to prove that I did it. Holy crap, look what I can do. So this is where he begins. He starts off with a noble, what I consider a very noble thing, and that is to purify the world of evil. Now, for Christian fundamentalists, to a certain degree, I'm sure there are probably some of you out there who are watching this, Christian fundamentalists. Most of you who are that way see things pretty simple. There's good, there's evil. God will destroy evil. That's simple. That's light. And I, to a certain degree, think it's a noble task. Rid the world of evil. There are some people who sometimes I watch on the news, and there are people who I just frankly think the world could do best without. And I'm probably right. I'm probably sure there's some of you have thought the same way. You know, there are some people who make life insufferable for some of us. Might as well just delete them. And that's what Light does. He goes on this huge, like, deletes thing where he just starts writing names like crazy. But then L shows up. Another character who I really find both inspiring and creepy. He is this... is he a teenager? Or is he like 20? He's like 20. But he's a genius, just like Light. They're both... super genius. So they got this whole game of chess, kind of cat and mouse type thing, where one makes a move and the other counters. They both want each other dead, but neither one can prove definitely who's who and how to do it. They can't do it without raising suspicion. So, and then as it turns out, Light can actually control a person before they die. This goes into a whole other part of how this game plays out, where the two pick at each other in a way that for the average mind is just like inconceivable. But they really do. They play this out so that any slight move can be a clue to prove whether Light is Kira or a move that will result in L's death. In the end, the ending of the series was both expected and depressing. You kind of see it happening towards the later part of the series. Light is just he's a little off, because you see him slipping. His ability to control the situation is just leaving him. And at this point, you can tell he's no longer the same kid he was 6 years before. He's let this power kind of just take him over. It's like that old saying, absolute power corrupts absolutely. This is one of those examples. And it's one of those series where he gets this god complex where the main character thinks that they have the right to judge whether a person should live or die. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels this way, but to a certain degree, I myself have thought, this world is filled with rotten people. But at the same time, it's not right for us to, I think, it's not right for us to say, oh, this person deserves to live, this person deserves to die, unless they're, admittably horrible, like Hitler. You see Hitler and you're like, okay, this bastard's gotta go. He's evil. But, it's one of those series that it's not long. It's 28 episodes, not even, I don't know, something like that. It's not that long. But it is a good series. I recommend it fully. It's probably one of my first 10 out of 10s. The voice acting is great. The audio track is great. The character development is astonishing. Lots of parts are tear-jerkers. Lots of parts will confuse, scare, and traumatize you. For younger audiences, though, if there are any 10-year-olds watching this, don't watch the series. There's a scary creature named Ryuk who will scare the living daylights out of you until you watch him eat apples. After the apple thing, you'll just laugh whenever you see him. Anyway, that's my review for Death Note, and I recommend it. Remember, Asriel Sword says yes.